topic that's in everyone's mind, and I think when Anurag and company decided and asked me to speak on it, I felt that maybe I have a lot of learning to do here. For some of you who don't know my background, till about a year back, exactly a year back, I was playing the role of the Chief Strategy and Growth Officer at Tech Mahindra, an IT services company. And then over the last 8 months, now have been the founder and CEO of a company called humanize tech.ai. So I thought it's probably I can share my learnings, because though we are a technology company in the IT services world with Tech Mahindra, it's not necessarily I would call it an AI driven business. It was a much wider and larger company in Tech Mahindra. And what we are trying to build in humanize tech.ai is an absolutely AI driven business. So I think the question that comes to one's mind is, what is an AI driven business, and why therefore do we need to look at it specially for leadership, and how is it any different than any other business? And to me, I think the most important and critical factors of an AI driven business compared to a regular business as it stands today are a couple of elements. AI driven business, like any other business, is also data driven, or should be data driven, any other business is. But in AI driven businesses, you are enabling machines and human beings to take a lot more collaborative effort between machine and man, or human beings, and therefore that's the biggest difference that between regular business and a AI driven business. The second part of that is that an AI driven business also needs to take into account the impact of its decision making, because as you start to make more and more decisions based on artificial intelligence, you will probably have to, because of your partner being the machine, you'll have to probably make sure that you are taking the right ethical decisions. You're trying to take the decisions that will make sure that you're doing the right thing, because we can always go off in one tangent and say now machines will take all the decisions and the humans will probably just execute on them. So that's the second difference, I think, between a regular business and an AI different business, because your responsibility and on ethics and overall responsibility goes up a few notches above, because you're getting a lot, not just using a technology to be able to help you, but technology is also making decisions for you. So the more you get closer to as a leader to monitor that, the better. So to me, I think these are the two key elements of, that is the man-machine collaboration and this responsibility of businesses to be a lot more ethical in the way they run their businesses. Having said that, I think, what are those leadership gaps therefore in the world? So if you look at the leadership gaps in the world today, in an AI world, I think first of all, the biggest leadership gap that we can see in an AI world is the fact that usage of data in a way that machines can completely start to ask you challenging questions. None of us as leaders would ever want ourselves to be challenged by human beings, and there are ways to manage that in various ways, because you can decide whether your people are going to ask the right questions or not, and therefore you have roles and responsibilities defined, and people have certain hierarchy given or not, that these decision making to challenge you is not going to be that easily taken if the person doesn't like it much. But in a machine and an AI driven world, they don't care. I mean, they are like that smart assistant who has no aspiration to be taking up your role or to be getting promoted, or expects a appraisal at the end of the year and increase in increment. So there is none of those issues that you have from a team, that a human based team, that you will never have with an AI based team. In that AI based team, the AI agents, as agentic AI takes more and more center stage, will keep challenging your decision making and will keep pushing you towards asking questions that you're probably not very comfortable about your business, your leadership, your people, your process, and all of it. And the more the leaders get questioned, therefore the clearance of those leaders' gaps will start to show up, that if you're not taking and accepting that. Second is, not many of us as leaders today are trained to work in an environment where you are ready to take some sort of instructions or an advice from a machine. We are today trained in a world where we instruct machines to do certain things and the machine therefore follows. Prompt engineering is exactly an example in that direction, because prompt engineering nothing but you're prompting, and therefore people are giving you answers to that certain prompt, and the smarter your prompt is, the smarter answers you'll get. But again, bringing back to the conversation related to people starting to use natural language processing, people starting to use agentic AI, and I heard the last bit of the panel where we talked about, I think one of the panelists talked about AI not being ready as much to be able to do the business as we expect it to be. But I don't think any of us have a view of timelines in which AI will be ready. So I think it's for onus is on us to be ready faster than being ready after some artificial intelligence tool or an agent is smarter than us. Accepting that world, that there will be agents or agentic AI which will be probably smarter than us, is one more issue that all of us as leaders will have to accept. For example, as you can see, the leadership transition over the years, first set of leaders, which was about maybe 20 years back, or in a corporate world, was that the leader was the ultimate guru. They would have to have answers to everything. But you come to the startup and the new age world, then the leaders are really first amongst equals. They are people who can have fallacies, they are people who may not have answers, and therefore your human element of making sure that, I don't know everything, I have a team of people who complement me each other, and we are able to answer, became a critical sign of leadership. Some people have certain characteristics, some people have not. In the AI world, the same set of people will need to be able to accept the fact that the machines might know a lot more than them, and therefore accepting their inputs become clearer. So that to me is the big leadership gap and the challenge that we see as we move to an AI world. Coming to the transformative potential of AI, I think the big transformative potential is that it will become from tool to teammate. It will also become, the opportunity for AI to unlock approximately 2.6 to about 6 trillion in global economic value, productivity boosters, and most importantly, two last points: personalization and precision, and ethics. The opportunity, we've all talked about ethical AI and the potential of AI in doing that, and how challenges come together. I think people also forget the other part of it, that if you train AI properly, or if you train the models properly, it can actually help you be a lot more ethical in your business. We sometimes easily take the negative side of it. What happens if an AI rogue gets in and tells your business to be able to treat certain people differently, or even go to the extreme of saying that, punish people in your organization or your consumers because AI has been fed with wrong data. Now, I think the other aspect of AI, which is about becoming therefore models which will help you take right decisions, is sometimes forgotten, because like anything else, what makes news is really sensationalism, bad news, scary news that AIs will take off the world, the robots will run us, makes us a lot more read that headline rather than the headline that says, hey, listen, if you get the model right, you'll probably succeed well. So to me, as I conclude what kind of leadership skills that one looks for and transformation, my only guidance from my own personal experience over the last 8 to 10 months from a fairly large corporate enterprise to an AI-driven enterprise is learn collaboration significantly across, collaboration beyond human beings to ask machines to collaborate, where therefore your constant action should be, can this be done by another machine? Can this be done by another AI tool? And therefore, what is that collaboration ecosystem that you should create, where your team members and your colleagues are constantly looking for that potential to collaborate between man and machine? Second, putting leaders who are ahead of time, who are constantly thinking that ethics and the style of doing business is way more important. So how do you model that so that business goals and profits don't become the prime driver of it? So those leaders and their business models will succeed. And it's not a sort of a good thing to do, but your consumers will soon decide whether to buy products from you, and the Gen Z or the next generation that we come across will choose products from consumers that are doing both the human element and the technology element. And that's what we are out to do in our company, in Humanize, where we are trying to combine the best of human acumen and the deep tech together to build solutions. What we feel is leadership also needs to take into account the same fact: best of your human talent with the best of technology talent in the AI era to combine. Thank you.